The Meridian Alliance's flagship emerged from hyperspace on a crisp autumn morning, its crystalline hull refracting sunlight across Earth's atmosphere in dazzling patterns. High Commander Senevek stood on the bridge, her bioluminescent markings pulsing with anticipation as she studied the blue planet below. The scans were clear: primitive chemical rockets, basic satellite networks, and rudimentary digital communications. Earth was precisely the kind of developing world the Alliance typically absorbed into their ever-expanding coalition of civilizations. Another preservation case, Senna remarked to her second-in-command, technologist Krav. Their development appears to have stagnated at classification level 2. Curious, given their biological potential. Krav's tendrils rippled in agreement as he analyzed the incoming data streams. Their atmospheric pollution alone suggests technological inefficiency. Though, he paused, mandibles clicking thoughtfully, their population distribution is remarkably organized for their development level. The first contact protocol proceeded exactly as it had on countless worlds before. The Alliance broadcast their arrival on all frequencies, using universal mathematical sequences to establish basic communication. Earth's response came swiftly. Too swiftly, Krav noted privately, though he dismissed the observation as paranoia. Within hours, they were invited to meet with Earth's representatives in a location called Geneva. The humans appeared appropriately awestruck by Alliance technology, asking simple questions about faster-than-light travel and energy generation. They marveled at holographic displays as if they were magic, their scientists furiously taking notes with primitive electronic devices. Yet something about their reactions felt rehearsed to Senna. The way their eyes lingered a fraction too long on certain technologies, the oddly specific nature of their questions, the careful way they steered conversations away from certain topics. But every scan, every analysis, every observation confirmed their primitive status. "They're hiding something," Senna declared during a private meeting with her command staff. "But our most sophisticated scanning technology detects nothing beyond level 2 capabilities. Either our entire technological basis for classification is wrong, or they've found a way to fool our scans," Krav finished. "But that would require technology far beyond level 2. The paradox itself suggests we're seeing exactly what they want us to see." Earth's representatives continued to play their roles perfectly. They expressed enthusiasm about joining the Alliance, asked for time to prepare their population for the news, and appeared appropriately grateful for the offered technological assistance. Everything proceeded according to standard protocols for integrating a developing world. But in the deep underground facilities beneath Geneva, hidden behind technological camouflage that made them appear as natural caverns to Alliance scans, Earth's true leaders watched the proceedings with calculated interest. General Sarah Chen studied the real-time analysis of Alliance technology, comparing it to humanity's carefully hidden capabilities. "They're exactly as advanced as we predicted," she noted to her assembled staff. "And just as convinced of their superiority. Operation Hidden Hand remains in effect. We maintain the facade until we have a complete understanding of their capabilities and intentions." Across the planet, humanity's true technological marvels remained concealed behind carefully crafted illusions. Quantum computers disguised as primitive servers, zero-point energy generators masked as inefficient power plants, defensive systems that appeared as simple communications satellites, an entire civilization's worth of advanced technology hidden in plain sight. The Alliance representatives departed after a week of meetings, satisfied that Earth would make a suitable addition to their civilization. Senevek filed her official report, recommending Earth for standard integration protocols. But she couldn't shake the feeling that she had missed something crucial. Something about the humans' careful politeness, their measured responses, their perfect compliance with Alliance expectations. As her ship prepared to return to Alliance space, Senna studied one final scan of Earth. The planet looked exactly as it should. A developing world on the cusp of true technological advancement, ready to be guided by the Alliance's benevolent hand. Yet in her private log, she added a personal note. "They're either exactly what they appear to be, or they're better at deception than any species we've encountered. I'm not sure which possibility disturbs me more. She didn't know it yet, but she would soon discover the truth. And it would shatter everything the Alliance thought they knew about technological development, about humanity, and about the nature of power itself. The Alliance observation post in Earth's orbit was designed to be undetectable by Level 2 technology. Its adaptive camouflage and quantum field generators should have made it completely invisible to the primitive scanning systems humans supposedly possessed. Yet somehow, their satellites never strayed into its operational space. Their spacecraft always adjusted course just enough to avoid detection. It was as if they knew exactly where not to look. Another statistical anomaly. Research Director Mira Voss reported her crystalline form-shifting colors with frustration. That's the 17th time this month that human space activities have inadvertently avoided our surveillance zones. Her assistant, data analyst Jun, displayed a holographic map of Earth's orbital patterns. The probability of these course corrections being random is approaching zero, yet their technology shouldn't allow them to detect us. The 3 months since first contact had yielded more questions than answers. Earth continued to progress exactly as expected for a Level 2 civilization, but with peculiar inconsistencies that defied explanation. Their power generation remained inefficient and fossil fuel dependent, yet their energy distribution grid handled load balances with impossible precision. Their internet relied on primitive fiber optics, but data moved through it with near-quantum efficiency. In her private quarters, Mira reviewed the latest reports from surface observers. Alliance agents, disguised to blend in with human populations, had infiltrated major research institutions and governmental organizations. Their findings painted a picture of a species that seemed to be deliberately playing a role. A conversation recorded at a prestigious human university particularly caught her attention. 2 scientists, supposedly unaware of being monitored, discussed their latest research. The Alliance really believes we're still burning hydrocarbons for energy, one had said, laughing. Should we tell them about the zero-point reactors? Let them figure it out themselves, the other replied. Remember the protocols. We show them exactly what they expect to see. But when Alliance agents attempted to locate these scientists for further surveillance, they seemed to vanish. Official records showed they had never existed. The entire conversation appeared to be an elaborate deception, meant to be discovered. Mira brought her concerns to the Alliance High Council's quarterly review. Either humans are exactly what they appear to be, and these inconsistencies are testing errors, or, she paused, knowing her next words could end her career, or they've achieved technological advancement so far beyond our understanding that they can perfectly simulate being centuries behind us. The council chambers erupted in dismissive laughter. High Councilor Zex, their crystalline form glowing with amusement, spoke for the group. You suggest that a species still deploying chemical rockets has somehow surpassed our entire civilization. Impossible. Your data simply requires better analysis. But back on Earth, in a facility that appeared to Alliance scans as an abandoned mining complex, General Chen reviewed the transcript of that very council meeting. The quantum entanglement sensors hidden within seemingly primitive Earth satellites had captured every word. They're following the expected psychological pattern, she told the World Defense Council. Their own technological advancement has become a perceptual blind spot. They cannot imagine that we could have developed along a different path than theirs. The council chamber itself was a testament to humanity's true capabilities. What appeared to be simple concrete walls were actually quantum computational matrices. The primitive fluorescent lighting disguised gravity manipulation fields. Even the paper notebooks the council members wrote in contained more computing power than the Alliance believed Earth possessed in total. The question remains, another council member pointed out. How long do we maintain this charade? The Alliance's frustration with our apparent reluctance to advance is growing. They're beginning to discuss more aggressive integration protocols. General Chen smiled. Let them grow frustrated. Every attempt they make to understand us reveals more about them. Every scan they run tells us more about their technological limitations. Let them think they're the teachers studying a primitive species. They haven't realized they're the ones being examined. But in orbit, Mira Voss couldn't shake the feeling that she was missing something profound. She ran another scan of Earth's power signatures, watching as the planet's cities lit up the night side in familiar patterns of inefficient energy use. Everything looked exactly as it should. And that, she was beginning to realize, might be the biggest anomaly of all. The pieces were there, if only she could see how they fit together. Humanity's perfect compliance with Level 2 development patterns, their inexplicable ability to avoid Alliance surveillance, the contradictions in their technological capabilities. It all pointed to a conclusion that seemed impossible, yet increasingly difficult to deny. As she prepared her next report, Mira decided to include a cautionary note. We must consider the possibility that our entire approach to classifying civilizations is fundamentally flawed. The humans aren't failing to advance along our technological development path. They may have chosen not to follow it at all. 6 months after first contact, the Alliance's patience had worn dangerously thin. High Commander Senovec stood before the Emergency Council, her crystalline form pulsing with barely contained frustration as she delivered her report. Earth continues to delay integration protocols while maintaining the appearance of cooperation, she stated. They cite cultural preservation concerns, social stability requirements, and the need for careful technological transition. But after half a cycle of observation, we've detected no meaningful attempts to implement our offered advancements. The Council chamber's atmosphere was heavy with tension. Decades of successful species integration had made the Alliance confident in their protocols. Earth's persistent resistance, however polite, represented an unprecedented challenge to their authority. High Counselor Zex's form shifted to a deep crimson, indicating severe displeasure. Perhaps we have been too patient, too considerate of their primitive concerns. The Alliance's purpose is to guide developing species toward proper technological advancement. If Earth refuses to accept this guidance willingly, the implications hung in the air like a storm about to break. Throughout Alliance history, resistant species had eventually faced forced integration. For their own good, of course. The process was always justified as necessary for galactic stability. Meanwhile, on Earth, in a facility that appeared to be a simple agricultural research station, General Chen and the World Defense Council reviewed the Emergency Council's proceedings in real time. The quantum monitoring systems, disguised as weather satellites, hadn't missed a word. They're planning to force the issue, Chen observed, her expression grim. Exactly as our psychological models predicted. Their entire civilization is built on the assumption of technological superiority. Our continued resistance threatens their fundamental worldview. The Council chamber hummed with hidden energy as members accessed vast quantum databases through what looked like ordinary tablets. Humanity's true technological capabilities have been carefully hidden for decades, ever since their first detection of approaching alien civilizations. The box protocol remains our best option, another council member suggested. We've prepared for this scenario since we first detected their civilization approaching our solar system. The box was humanity's masterpiece of deception. Not a single device, but a layered system of technological revelations, each designed to shock and disorient would-be conquerors while still concealing humanity's true capabilities. Like a magician's nested boxes, each layer revealed would make the Alliance question everything they thought they knew about human advancement. Back in Alliance space, Mira Voss made one final attempt to warn the Council. Her research had uncovered patterns that deeply disturbed her. Consider the mathematical precision of their technological appearance, she argued. Every scan, every observation shows exactly what we expect to see for a Level 2 civilization. No deviations, no unexpected advances, no mistakes. It's too perfect. But the Council had already made their decision. The Alliance would no longer accept Earth's delays. A deadline would be set. Either Earth would begin implementing Alliance technology and integration protocols, or more direct measures would be taken. High Commander Vec received her orders with a mixture of anticipation and lingering unease. The Alliance would assemble its largest integration fleet yet, a show of force designed to demonstrate the futility of resistance. The fleet would take position around Earth in exactly 1 month, presenting the humans with a simple choice: accept Alliance guidance or face forced technological uplift. As Vec prepared her fleet, she couldn't shake the memory of her first meeting with Earth's representatives. Their careful politeness, their measured responses, their perfect compliance with expectations. It all seemed different now, viewed through the lens of impending conflict. In her private log, she made one final entry: "I can't escape the feeling that we're making a terrible mistake." The humans' resistance doesn't feel like the desperate clutching of a primitive species to their outdated ways. It feels like patience, like they're waiting for something. But waiting for what? On Earth, as Alliance communications announced the approaching deadline, General Chen called a meeting of the World Defense Council. The chamber's seemingly primitive screens displayed real-time tracking of the assembling Alliance fleet, their movements mapped with precision far beyond what the Alliance believed humans capable of achieving. "They're forcing our hand," Chen stated, her voice calm despite the gravity of the situation. "The question is no longer whether we reveal our true capabilities, but how much we show them." A council member spoke up. The box protocol was designed for exactly this scenario. Each layer of revelation carefully calculated to shatter their assumptions while maintaining our strategic advantages. Chen nodded, studying the holographic display disguised as a simple projection screen. The Alliance fleet's movement patterns showed their complete confidence in their technological superiority. They had no idea they were sailing into waters humanity had mapped decades ago. "Initiate preliminary box protocol sequences," she ordered. "Let's show our friends in the Alliance that humanity's path of technological development has been very different from what they imagined. But remember, we reveal only what serves our purposes. Our greatest advances remain hidden until they're needed." As Alliance ships began taking position in the solar system, humanity's hidden defenses silently tracked their every move. The box protocol's first layer waited like a coiled spring, ready to shatter the Alliance's most fundamental assumptions about human technological capability. The stage was set for a confrontation that would redefine the relationship between Earth and the galaxy at large. But as both sides prepared for the coming conflict, only humanity knew the true stakes of the game they were about to play. The Alliance integration fleet emerged from hyperspace in waves, their crystalline ships filling Earth's orbital space in a display of overwhelming force. Over 10,000 vessels, representing the largest fleet deployment in Alliance history, took position around the seemingly defenseless planet. High Commander Vec stood on her flagship's bridge, watching the final ships settle into formation. Earth's primitive satellite network continued its predictable orbits, showing no reaction to the armada surrounding their world. Their radio communications carried on with typical Level 2 civilian chatter, though Vec noted an increase in what humans called emergency broadcasts. "Final position achieved, Commander," her tactical officer reported. "No detected response from planetary defenses." He paused, mandibles clicking in amusement. "Though given their technological level, I'm not sure what response they could offer." Vec nodded, pushing aside her lingering doubts. "Begin the transmission." The Alliance message broadcast on all frequencies, using Earth's own primitive communication methods to ensure reception. "People of Earth, your time for deliberation has ended. You will now accept Alliance integration protocols and begin implementation of proper technological advancement. Failure to comply will result in forced technological uplift. You have 1 planetary rotation to respond." In the hidden command center beneath Geneva, General Chen watched the Alliance fleet's deployment with calm interest. The box protocol's activation sequences were ready, each layer of revelation carefully calculated for maximum psychological impact. "They've positioned themselves exactly where we predicted," her tactical officer noted, monitoring displays that appeared to be simple LCD screens but were actually quantum-entangled visualization matrices. Their formation optimizes their perceived tactical advantage, while leaving them completely vulnerable to our countermeasures. Chen nodded, allowing herself a small smile. Humanity has waited decades for this moment. Begin Box Protocol Layer 1. Across Earth's orbital space, the change began subtly at first. What appeared to be normal orbital debris began moving with purpose, forming complex geometric patterns that no natural phenomenon could explain. The Alliance's primitive satellite network suddenly stopped broadcasting its regular signals. On the Alliance flagship, alarms began blaring. "Commander," the tactical officer's voice cracked with surprise. "We're detecting energy signatures. Impossible energy signatures. They're coming from the satellites." Vec watched in stunned disbelief as Earth's supposedly primitive communication network transformed. Panels shifted, revealing advanced weapon systems that shouldn't have been possible for a Level 2 civilization. The simple weather satellites unfurled into defense platforms with technology that matched or exceeded Alliance capabilities. "Impossible," she whispered, but the evidence continued mounting. The orbital debris field they had dismissed as signs of primitive space exploration coalesced into swarms of autonomous defense drones. Even the planet's atmosphere began showing signs of advanced shield technology activating. "We are receiving a transmission from Earth," her communications officer announced. "Text only, being broadcast through methods we don't understand." The message appeared on Vec's command screen. "The Alliance has become accustomed to finding primitive worlds and forcibly shaping them to match your vision of proper development. Humanity chose a different path. What you saw as technological stagnation was careful preparation. What you dismissed as primitive was purposeful deception. Let us show you what else we've been hiding." The Box Protocol's second layer activated. Across Earth's surface, hidden facilities shed their camouflage. Massive energy signatures erupted from locations the Alliance had scanned dozens of times and found nothing. Cities that had appeared to run on fossil fuels revealed zero-point energy cores. The primitive internet humans used transformed into a quantum communication network that made Alliance technology seem obsolete. "Scans are showing technology we've never encountered before," Vec's science officer reported, his crystalline form pulsing with agitation. "They're not just at our level, Commander. In some areas, they're beyond anything the Alliance has achieved. And these readings suggest we're still only seeing a fraction of their capabilities." Vec stared at the tactical display, watching as her fleet's strategic advantage evaporated. Earth had transformed from a seemingly primitive world into a technological fortress in a matter of minutes. But more than the military implications, it was the psychological impact that staggered her. Everything the Alliance believed about technological development, about their role as guides and teachers to primitive species, had been upended. A new message appeared on her screen. The Alliance's assumption that all species must follow your path of technological development was flawed. Humanity chose to advance along multiple paths simultaneously, keeping our true capabilities hidden until they were needed. "You saw exactly what we wanted you to see." In the Geneva Command Center, General Chen watched the Alliance fleet's reactions through sensors that could read the quantum states of their ships' crystalline hulls. The Box Protocol was working exactly as designed, each revelation carefully calculated to shatter their assumptions while maintaining humanity's strategic advantages. "Their fleet formations are breaking down," her tactical officer reported. "Multiple ships are initiating emergency hyperspace calculations." Chen nodded. "Proceed with Layer 3. Let's show them enough to ensure they understand the full implications of their attempted forced integration, but maintain our deepest capabilities in reserve." After all, she smiled, a magician never reveals all their tricks at once. As the Box Protocol's third layer began its activation sequence, the Alliance fleet faced a reality they had never encountered in their long history of uplifting primitive worlds, a civilization that had not only matched their technological achievement, but had done so in ways they had never imagined possible. The week following Earth's revelation became known in Alliance records as the Great Paradigm Shift. The integration fleet hung in Earth's orbit, their crystalline ships dim with uncertainty, as the Alliance High Council grappled with the implications of what they had witnessed. High Commander Vec stood before a hastily convened emergency session of the Council, her form shifting between colors that reflected her conflicting emotions. The humans didn't just hide their technological advancement, she explained. They developed it along paths we never considered possible. While we focused on linear technological progression, they explored multiple directions simultaneously. The council chamber, usually a model of orderly discourse, buzzed with agitated discussion. Mira Voss, now vindicated in her earlier warnings, presented her analysis. Their deception wasn't just about hiding technology, she explained. It was a test of our assumptions, our behavior, our entire approach to interspecies relations. In the depths of their hidden command center, General Chen and the World Defense Council reviewed the Alliance's response. The quantum monitors showed the emotional states of the crystalline beings through their color fluctuations, providing insight into their psychological adaptation to the new reality. They're moving past denial, Chen observed. Now comes the critical phase, establishing a new relationship based on mutual respect rather than perceived superiority. Earth had extended an invitation to the Alliance, not for integration, but for dialogue. The location chosen for this historic meeting was telling. A facility that had appeared to Alliance scans as a simple university research center. As Alliance representatives were escorted inside, the building's true nature was gradually revealed. What looked like ordinary walls contained quantum computational matrices far beyond Alliance understanding. Simple light fixtures housed gravity manipulation fields that made Alliance technology seem primitive by comparison. Even the chairs they sat in contained more computing power than most Alliance ships. High Counselor Zex, chosen to represent the Alliance in these discussions, found himself seated across from General Chen. The room's apparent simplicity belied the advanced technology humming just beneath its surface, a perfect metaphor for humanity itself. "We owe you an apology," Zex began, his crystalline form glowing with sincere regret. "We approach Earth with assumptions that now appear embarrassingly primitive." Chen's response was measured, diplomatic. The Alliance's intention to guide developing civilizations wasn't wrong, she said. But perhaps it's time to consider that there are many paths to advancement, and forced integration isn't always the answer. As the discussions progressed, humanity revealed more about their development philosophy. They had detected the Alliance's approach decades ago, and had made a conscious choice to appear primitive while advancing their technology in secret. The Box Protocol had been just one layer of their capabilities, carefully designed to demonstrate power without revealing everything. "We chose to develop our technology in ways that would be invisible to conventional scanning," Chen explained. "While you looked for quantum signatures, we built computers into ordinary matter. While you searched for energy emissions, we developed systems that appeared to be simple chemical reactions." The implications staggered the Alliance representatives. Humanity hadn't just achieved technological parity. They had developed entirely new branches of science that the Alliance had never considered possible. The very foundations of what the Alliance considered advanced technology had to be reconsidered. "But why reveal yourselves now?" Zex asked. "You could have maintained the deception indefinitely." Chen's answer was simple but profound. "Because the galaxy is changing. We've detected things beyond Alliance space that concern us, things your civilization might not be prepared to face alone. We believe it's time for a true partnership, not based on perceived superiority, but on mutual respect and shared knowledge." In the months that followed, the relationship between Earth and the Alliance transformed. The Alliance's integration protocols were fundamentally reformed, with Earth taking a leading role in developing new approaches to interspecies relations. The concept of linear technological development was abandoned in favor of a more nuanced understanding of civilizational advancement. Human scientists began sharing some of their discoveries, showing the Alliance how they had developed technology along paths that had seemed impossible. In return, the Alliance offered insights from their millions of years of galactic experience. together, they began preparing for whatever threats lurked in the darkness between the stars. High Commander Vec, in her final report on the Earth incident, wrote words that would be studied by Alliance academics for generations. We thought we were discovering a primitive world in need of guidance. Instead, we found a mirror that showed us our own limitations. Humanity's greatest achievement wasn't their technological advancement. It was their wisdom in understanding that true power lies not in displaying strength, but in choosing when to reveal it. As Earth and the Alliance began their new partnership, humanity maintained their policy of careful revelation. The Box Protocol had shown only what was necessary to establish mutual respect. In hidden facilities across the planet, humanity's greatest technological achievements remained carefully concealed, ready if ever truly needed. After all, as General Chen liked to say, in a universe full of unknowns, it's always wise to keep a few surprises in reserve.